Welcome, everyone, to Consciously Connecting Humanity 360. My name is Pam Dye, and I'm here with the other members of the team, Sifu Lester Holmes and Dan Tracy, along with our guest today, Sifu Chris Burnett. You're probably wondering, what is CCH 360? It is a partnership of people using martial arts techniques and other health-related arts to explore and share healing modalities using personal tools and processes useful for self-care and healthy personal development. Sifu Lester Holmes, founder of CCH 360 and Tai Chi Connection, teaches out of Dalzell, South Carolina. I hope I have that right. Myself, Pam Dye, I'm founder of Forever Tai Chi, and I teach out of Freeport, New York. And Dan Tracy is founder of Martial Arts in Motion, LLC, and Gator Tai Chi, teaching in season in Titusville, Florida. Otherwise, he's residing in Wisconsin. Today, we're happy to have Sifu Chris Burnett as our speaker. Chris is no stranger to the martial arts world. He is the founder of Green Dragon Tai Chi in Cleveland, Ohio. Chris is certified as a master level instructor by the American Tai Chi and Qigong Association and is trained in martial arts and wrestling since 1977. In 2013, he was able to dedicate his life to martial arts full-time. He previously trained martial arts styles like, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Ak Mei, Shaolin Five Animals, Yang style, and Chen style Tai Chi Chuan. Having trained in empty hand forms and various weapons, he founded Green Dragon Tai Chi and Qigong in 2014. Chris has expanded his knowledge working with energy and became a student of medical Qigong and is now certified as a master clinical Qigong, master of clinical Qigong. Sorry about that. Recently, Sifu Chris embarked on another journey, learning BJJ. So right now, I'm going to turn this over to you, Chris, so you can expand on your experience here.
Okay, yeah. So like you said, I've been doing martial arts for quite a while. Not always constantly, though. There have been times when I wasn't actively participating in classes, but I still continue my training with friends, sparring partners, my brother, things like that. All right. So over the years, I've done different styles. Actually, I always tell this to people, when Tai Chi was first presented to me, I didn't have any interest in it because I was doing harder styles, faster stuff. And I thought it was a little bit too slow, right? So it took me years later to realize that there was really something to Tai Chi. I met a master who was very hard to move. As you all know, the Tai Chi consists of a lot of rooting and grounding. And so I was able to, sorry about my phone, it's people calling me, just took it off the hook. So Tai Chi consists of a lot of rooting and grounding. And so once I felt him and I couldn't move him, then I realized that there was something deeper to Tai Chi than just the beauty and the health aspect of it. And so that's what made me actively pursue it. And then once I did that, it opened up a lot of things for me, not only martial arts wise, a whole different philosophy of martial arts, but also energetically being able to feel energy, things like that. So yeah, it's been a great journey.
So let me ask a question right on. That Green Dragon word keeps coming up, and I'm just curious, where did it come from? What it's all about? Tell us a little bit about the Green Dragon. What does that mean to you today? Does it mean the same thing that it meant when you first originated that name? Tell us a little bit about Green Dragon.
No, it doesn't. So it's funny. So when I fight sometimes or sparred, some people would compare me to like a dragon. And of course, a dragon is a mythical creature, but it moves through water, through clouds. It can be high, it can be low, right? It can be steam or it can be hard. So dragon is like hard and soft. It can disappear, reappear. So because of some of the techniques that I would use, people kind of, would kind of joke around and say, "Oh, you look like a dragon." And then when the time came to name my company, I was thinking about dragon, and first thing popped in my head was blue dragon or black dragon. Sorry, black dragon. Of course, that was exploited in the 70s, a lot of black dragons, right? So I didn't want to go that route. And then I did think of blue dragon. course, our friend would, you know, we'd be battling names, but I didn't know Mr. Love back then. So, but I came up with green because I thought about the earth, and you know, they say that when you're green, you kind of, you know, you don't litter, you do certain things that won't harm the earth. So you're actually in accordance with nature, and so that's how I got the name. And then later on in my medical qigong classes, I learned that the green dragon actually represents the hun, or the liver, and it's like a spiritual aspect to it. So it was kind of a lucky chance that I named it that.
Right. I was
How
thinking
long
of
ago?
the
Go ahead.
green. I was thinking of the green also because I just think of you and how you continuously keep growing, you know, and all. And green represents growth in my eyes.
Mm, thank you. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
Chris and I met some time back, and he actually came down to South Florida and trained with me a little bit, and then he ended up hosting me, and we built some beautiful workshops up at his place in Cleveland. Really nice,
Mhm.
and the brotherhood just took off from there. So thank you for being here. Dan,
All
go ahead,
right.
my brother.
Love you like a brother.
Yes, sir.
Notice-
So I wonder if you could explain your locations and how you work your brick and mortar business.
Yeah, so I'm right down the road from where you're talking about. Cleveland Heights is like right down the road. Right now I'm in South Euclid, and I originally started in Mayfield Heights, which is where I live. And I started out with a partnership with the high school and the recreation centers there. And we kind of built up a nice following regime. Um, Probably the last 2 years, I operated in and out of there, the parks. I've also taught different things like places like the Cleveland Orchestra. I do guest speakers for Case Western Reserve. I'm all around Cleveland doing different events, teaching different things all the time. I continuously work with like community centers for elderly, people with disabilities, things like that, youth. So I'm busy throughout the whole day. Like I'm in my, like you said, the brick and mortar most times, but then I have to leave in the middle of the day, go do a class somewhere else at a community center. Where I am now, it was originally, it's still called Hillcrest Academy of Goshen Jiu-Jitsu. The person who I bought it from, their family had founded this school, and his wife took some Tai Chi lessons with me. And so when he was ready to retire, he wanted to sell the school. She kept telling him, call Chris, he, you know, see if he wants it. And so eventually, after trying several different people, he wound up settling on me. And I was like, sure, let's do it. And so we still run the Goshen Jiu-Jitsu program here. And I'm lucky to have like the black belts who were in that system to continue to teach that. So I just kind of monitor that one. And I did bring my Tai Chi program here, and we do that. We have like 2 Tai Chi classes on Mondays and Wednesdays, one on Sunday. So we have one in the morning at 10 a.m. and then one at 6:30 p.m. And then Sundays, we do a different style. We do Chin style. So we're doing Yang style Mondays and Wednesdays, and then we're doing Chin style on Sundays, which is like a 2-hour class. Now, in between that, I'm doing, I just got certified as a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu certified training center. So in between that, I'm teaching combatives classes, which is kind of like their beginner, like white to blue program, or actually 2 combatives belt. And so building that program up, I'm about to start another kids program as well, under the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu system. So just continuing to grow, add things, and I really want to service the community. One of my goals is to also learn their what they call GST, Gracie Survival Tactics, in order to work with the police department. Neighboring police departments can come and train. And one of the things that we find is that the more training that they have, then the less they are to kind of resort to lethal means of restraint, or other things that can result in death. So when they don't, when they have the skill level to control without brutal force, then it's better for the community. So that's one of my goals, to try and partner with them in the future.
Let me ask one question here. So, in regards to your Tai Chi classes, I'm just curious in regard to your programs. The students that are being attracted towards your programs, is there any like age demographics or anything that you notice out of the, what's going on with that?
Yeah, so in our morning class, we actually have more of an older demographic. They're still very flexible, very strong in terms of the things they can do. And when they're not, then we have seated classes, things like that. We can direct them towards, if that's the case, that they may need it. But the older crowd in the morning, because they're not working, they want to come in, they want to, they like to do things early, get things out the way. Kind of like myself, I like to do things early, get it done, so that way I know my training's done for the day, and then when life throws other stuff at me, then at least I know I did my training. Now, the afternoon or the evening class at 6:30, we have all ages. Actually, I'm blessed to have like young people in my class. I've got at least 3 or 4 young people. And when I say young, I'm talking like one girl is 19. There's another guy in his 20s, somebody else in their 30s. But then we also have, going up into 40s, 50s, things like that as well.
More toward the young or chin style, or?
That's the yang style. That's the yang style. Now the chin style, probably everybody is at least 40 in that class. And you think it'd be the other way around, right?
Yeah,
Chin style
exactly.
is yeah.